you have seen my first video learning all the notes of your guitar, at least up to the 10th fret, and getting to know your fretboard. And reading the notes, of course, means now that we are turning our attention to what we know and explore what we might not know as well or at all. So first off, when we notate music, we should realize that the early days of guitar notation, lute notation, was done with tablature. And that was lines. If it was 6 strings, they'd have 6 lines. And then they'd use either letters or numbers to indicate frets. And they would only be able to use a note symbol or a rhythm symbol on the top. So when we had counterpoint, it was not as precise. They couldn't notate rhythms between 3 parts. They could only notate rhythms that might be relative to each other. All to say, rhythm is another concept, but for notation, we moved about the middle of the 18th century to strictly writing guitar music in standard notation. Initially, they experimented with doing this with the grand staff like the piano. Too bad they didn't continue to do that. We were told that one of the reasons why we ended up with the treble clef instead of the grand staff was because a lot of the performers and players of the guitar also played the violin, and they knew how to read notes on the violin, so they just simply published more music, and eventually it became the standard treble clef. So we've got a clef, and we have notes within the clef. And what I'd like to focus on first off are the notes we know within a full octave, starting on the note C. So the note C, as you see in the scale, is written below the staff with a line through it. The note right above that, below the staff, is D. And then from that, every line that goes up to that second space is alphabetical. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, the previous video, we just worked on knowing the names of those notes. So as you're looking at the staff, what you need to now realize is those notes have a name. And those names correlate to what you've already learned. Yeah, the premise, in case you did not catch the first video, is learn the names of your notes first. Then you have something to correlate an abstract symbol that will help you. So first, learn the names of the notes that you go up. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now looking at the symbols, do the same thing, but look at the symbols as you play those notes and say them aloud. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. Now here's the next premise. If you practice in thirds, you will now be playing every other note. And on the staff, that will mean if you start on C, it'll be line to line to line. Something we did in the previous video, but we didn't have the staff to refer to. Now, if we go thirds, we'd have C, E, G, and B, D, F. Those will all be line notes. C, E, G, B, D, F. Yeah? It's maybe starting to come to you that this could be easy. Yeah? Similarly, if we started on the note D, which is below the staff, and then go to only the space notes, we'd have D, F, A, C, E, G. D, F, A, C, E, G. And again, if you saw the previous video, you know that groups of 3s of those would become chords. Okay, this is a short video, but remember what we learned in the previous video. I will put a note on the bottom of this video to let you know that if you didn't get to see that, you can click that and go to that video first. Because that video also explains that all the notes we just read can be found in other places of the guitar. So for instance, if I want to do the same 3 notes and I have the same written notes, in second position, it looks like this, C, E, G. And if I keep going, I'm going to have a B, a D. I have to move the hand up for the F and the A. Yeah, that might be a little more complicated there, but the pattern is the same. Same thing in seventh position. B, D, F, A, and what comes after A? Skip B, C. Yep. Okay. So try that out. First off, try to read those notes that are there. And I want to also just at the very end show you the notes that go below. So these are the ones that guitarists really struggle with frequently because we get these extra ledger lines. But the lowest note on the guitar, standard tuning, is E. So that's 3 lines below the staff, below that last line. And if we do the next space, that'll be G. And the next space will be B. And the next space, of course, is the note D, which we already had. So that would look like this. And if we started on F, we'd go line, 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 line up to E. F, A, C, E. And again, what we just played here is an E minor 7th chord. Is actually an F major 7th chord. So learning this has dual purpose. One, you can really learn your notes, and you can also learn a scale. And third, and maybe even more significant, you can start to see how scales can reveal chords. I hope this lesson was valuable to you. Please write me if you have questions or you just want to share your success or your difficulties, yeah? And best wishes on your practice.